Hey, this is the third episode in a series of videos about my airplane repaint. If you didn't see first two videos, go to my YouTube channel, check them out. This video will be about airplane design and choosing between one paint scheme and another, deciding on what colors. And for me, this is very exciting, but at the same time, very important decision because I will have to live with this design for years. And when it's time to sell, it might affect an airplane value. Every single time I open hangar doors, I will look at this airplane. I'll either love it or hate it, depending on what colors and paint scheme I choose.
Now, when it comes to design, choosing an existing paint scheme is an option, but designing yourself, in my opinion, is a risky move. So I figured that there are several options when choosing a designer. First, there are individuals in the internet, but they will have to work with your paint shop. There are companies that specialize on aircraft paint schemes, and good examples are Scheme Designers out of New York and Plane Schemer out of Alabama. Hiring these companies would cost you between $800 and $2,000 and could be more depending on the design services. Some paint shops like Artcraft have in-house designers, which are sometimes a good option. And I can tell you that location of the designer is not very important, as most of the communication can be done through email and video chat.
Now, one of the reasons I decided to work with Artcraft to begin with was the fact that they designed and painted an airplane that was highlighted in the Flying magazine a couple years ago. I really like this paint scheme and I wanted to have something similar and different at the same time. I met our craft designer and we had a chat, and then he mentioned that I can email them all the inspiration material I have, and dropping a couple lines explaining what exactly I like, and then we go from there. So I sent them this picture of the Mooney highlighted in the Fly magazine. I also sent them a picture of a new to me bicycle that I purchased recently, explaining that I like this Bianchi's green color in combination with geometry lines and the dark blue metallic. When I was looking at the paint schemes in the internet, I figured out I like paint schemes where the white color is on the bottom and the darker color is on the top. I call them inverted paint schemes. So I thought it might be pretty cool to have an airplane painted in the Bianchi's green on the top and white on the bottom. So I explained this to our craft designer as well. I sent all this information to them, and a couple days later I received 3 different initial designs with an explanation that I should really look into each of them and decide what I like about them, and we go from there. We just pick one of them or maybe 2 and combine together. As I said earlier, I'm not a designer, but I and my wife, we tried to play a bit with these variants and we end up with 2 designs that look like this. The first one had additional vertical lines. One is white, another one is gold on the tail. The second design had a lot of curved lines. When I showed this to Artcraft, they said that this is definitely gonna cost more because there is more work involved in masking. And there is also an additional gold color, and they also say that it's just not gonna look good because there are too many details and cluttered space. But these versions gave them more insight into what I'm looking for. And from the options they sent me earlier, I definitely like the way this tail looked like, but I didn't like how the tail number blended into a horizontal line. I also wanted this line to be a little bit lower so it goes below the rear window, and a couple other minor things. We discussed all the details, and a couple days later I got these 2 designs. This was a hard time because I really liked both, but eventually I decided that my final version will be the one on the left because I liked these curved leading edge lines, and also the tail curved lines, and the tail number was more readable now. So I'm very excited at how all of this will look like on my airplane. I still can't believe it will look like new. And at the time when I was making this video, my airplane was already in the paint shop. They were preparing it for paint stripping, removing flight controls, taping everything. And this is what the next video will be about. Stay tuned, fly safe, and see you soon.